Hello everyone, howdy hi, welcome back to my channel, and today's video we're going to be going over acting. What's new? Specifically, I'm going to be talking about things I've incorporated into my own acting craft, stuff I've learned, what I'm working on. This is more of like an acting check-in, if you will. I don't even know if I called the last one that or if I just jumped right into the teaching, but this is like a two-piece of I'm talking about where I'm at, where I'm going, what I'm doing. So if you're not into just actor chit-chats, then this is not the video for you. But I will be doing a script analysis video that's more acting class 101 and educational. So if that's more your speed, then you can always watch that one or check out the playlist I'm putting at the end of the video. And with that, let's get into acting technique. Okay, first things first. Am I auditioning? No. Have I tried auditioning? No. What am I doing? I know, but I don't know. Something I'm very, I won't say insecure, but something I've really been going through lately is body image. And I talk about it more in the video coming out that's titled You Deserve to Win. I give a life update, but it feels now more than ever since putting myself out there that a lot of what I want in life is just gonna get so much easier when people see me as a person. And while a lot of people would argue I'm not overweight, a lot of people who know me in real life say all the time, you don't need to lose weight, you're not overweight, why are you on a diet, why are you exercising? Yes, I'm not being dramatic, those are things people have said to me. I know how the industries I want to crack are, and hopefully that statement doesn't come to bite me in the back, because I'm being honest and truthful when I say my weight is something I've struggled with my whole life. And while I don't necessarily want to look just like Zendaya, because that's someone who comes to mind that's very tall, very slender, genetically, naturally, however you want to say it, it would just be nice to be in the same weight class of the women who are in my height class that are on a larger platform, or you could just say are celebrities or being successful in their arts fields that they want to be in. And I don't think that's too much to ask for, and that's what I'm working on. And there's a part of me that wanted to get professional headshots done once I hit my first weight loss milestone. And then once I get those headshots, I was going to create the accounts for the different casting websites. Just some that come off the top of my head is Casting Networks, Actors Access, and there was another one. Some people use Backstage. Sometimes I use Backstage to see what's out there, and then I go directly to the casting director's website. But I think at my current weight, and while I'm finishing up my second acting class that I'm taking, I'm of the opinion that if I get another background job or two, that's fine. I even, as just a little chit chat, because this is, like I said, more of the update aspect of this video, would say I recently saw someone share how they used getting 3 union background jobs, made them SAG eligible, and then they joined the union that way. Not saying you have to do it that way. A lot of people say that background work's hogwash and all this stuff. I've enjoyed the work I've done. I've learned a lot. Okay, yeah, I don't put it on my resume, but I think it's better to have that experience and see what it's like than you show up with lines and you don't know what you're doing behind a camera. I will say I have had experience with having a YouTube channel, but it's just one of those things that I think all acting is good acting. And I'm sorry that the chase of fame and notoriety and money is not my only MO, and that I'm genuinely passionate about this, but I am who I am and it is what it is, you know, que Sarah Sarah. So I would say that's still my game plan. I'm going to maybe do in the next couple, okay, let me say it like this. I have a goal to hit a certain weight by a certain date. By that date, I'll get those headshots and then I'll start actually auditioning for things, buying a new microphone for my camera, buying these 2 backgrounds that I saw, and I'll probably just link all the equipment I plan on buying down below so you can get an idea of what I'm using and what I'm going to be doing for auditioning, and then see where that takes me through the second half of the year. Still work on the final weight loss goal, but I'll just feel more confident on camera speaking at a smaller weight than I would right now, just being a, you know, secondary background character or someone in the background that's not really like the focus of the camera, since the old saying goes, the camera adds on weight. So that's kind of the update with where I'm at with my own acting journey. I am currently in a class that focuses on the masters of acting. We've gone over, oh my gosh, I do not know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Stavislavski. Please forgive me if I said that wrong. And we were from Stavislavski to Strasbourg, and now from Strasbourg our next lesson is going to be over Meisner, and we're going to be going over, I think it's Uma Hagen. I should just get my book because this is honestly embarrassing. But essentially people who have pioneer techniques and methods in the acting world. And I have been learning a lot. I do think it'd be fun as I get roles to just apply one teacher's craft to one role and see how I like it. But for now, in today's video, now that we're going to get into it, I will put a timestamp because I know there's someone out there who's going to say, just get to the point, stop talking so much. I would say for this video, the one thing I am currently carrying over from the class I've been taking is the act of relaxation that I learned in the Strasbourg section. Relaxation is everything. I recently applied that to what I was learning and doing in my pageantry journey. So with that, let's go over what I would do if I was given a job. It doesn't have to be a Netflix movie or a Disney show or whatever you think the like ultimate success as an actor is. Any job, any medium, if I got the paper with the script and the words, what would I be doing? I actually don't know why you all were zoomed in for so long, but hey. The first thing I'd be doing is looking at what is it? What is the genre? Does that make sense? We're gonna start this over. That was terrible. Okay, cut. The first thing I would do is I'd be going over, what is this piece? Is it comedy? Is it drama? Is it crime? Is it horror? Like, what am I doing? And that's gonna dictate how I approach my character and becoming this character and what I'm doing. I've talked about it a bit in my character analysis video and other acting technique classes that I've done on this channel, but what I like to do is go to the script with paper and maybe some color tools. I've sometimes used my iPad, sometimes I actually just use the coloring crayons or colorful pens, whatever the case may be. And the first step I do is I cross out the name of my character. I put I or me. I create it as if I'm that character. Like, I know my name, whatever the name is on the script, but now I'm going in and removing seeing that name and making it a third person in my mind and creating it as myself. First thing I'm gonna do, after I've identified what my genre is, then, as I said in the types of scenes video, there's going to be different scenes within a story. Now, yes, you're probably not going to run into, like, let's say every type of scene out there in one TV show episode or one movie itself. But what I would be doing is just going through and seeing, okay, is there a meet cute? Is there a romantic scene? Is there a revelation scene? Like, what am I doing in this story? Like, what is my purpose? What am I trying to portray to the audience? Whatever the case may be. So to recap, identify who you are and mark that throughout your script. Identify what the story type is, because that's going to dictate how you perform it. Obviously, a comedy is different than a crime thriller. And then you're going to go through and just like identify your scenes. Then I would just be going through each scene and breaking down with my script analysis. Again, I'm making a separate video on that. There's more information there. But once I do that script analysis, that's probably when I would go into learning my lines. And the first thing I would do is read through them slowly, monotone, and not even apply any of the script analysis I had, just to see if there's any other information or identifying factors that I'm missing. Because sometimes the dialogue is telling you more than what's on the paper, and it's good to pick that up. Or if you have the full story now with your script, there's maybe something that happens in the beginning that's a foreshadowing to what's going to happen at the end, and you have those pieces to the story, and you can kind of identify in the storyline, when does my character become aware of this? Or when am I going to make that flip in how I present myself? Maybe you as the character are the villain who's actually a wolf in sheep's clothing. And you know now in the script, when you're acting, you're going to start presenting yourself as someone who's a little bit more aware than the other characters know, but you want the audience to believe that. And so that's what I would be doing. And once I get a feel for any additional information that I need in my scenes, I then would go into the art of learning the lines by applying what I did in my script analysis. What are my emotions? What's my driving question? What's my core? What's my happiness overall as my character? And how am I applying it to each scene? Once I learn all my lines, I'm then going to be acting out what I'm doing. If I'm angry, maybe I'm like slamming my fists in the air. I'm going through the motions that I want to present on camera or on stage for this scene, for this role, for the emotional impact of it all. I'm looking at whatever other characters I'm speaking to with substitutions of people in my own life that trigger that emotions so I can act them out while I'm rehearsing. Once I feel I have a good grasp on my lines and the character and everything that I'm working on, then if I get the opportunity to rehearse with a partner, I do that. If I get to work with my co-stars, I do that. But in the current day and age of acting, you're probably not going to always get a table read. You're probably not going to get a lot of rehearsals with your coworkers. And that's just important to know. And then if I have any emotional, as this last piece of how I would prepare, anything emotional, anything that needs to just be triggered in that moment, whatever it is, I would then work on my emotions. How do I prepare myself to get into that scene emotionally, and just keeping that in the back of my mind, as well as building more on my character so that when I show up, the hair, the costume, the makeup, everything, the lighting, it's just going to feed more into how I've already been mentally preparing myself to be this person. Maybe that's too much. Maybe I'm doing a lot here. Maybe that was confirmation that I'm doing too much. But I do think currently with that routine, and even using it for auditions and whatever little pieces of media they give you to audition with, will help you emotionally show up through the camera for whatever role that you're trying to perform. And that's my current acting technique. That's my current acting life update. I don't think it's any different than the last life update I gave you because your girl hasn't locked in. I know, don't yell at me, don't throw tomatoes. The only other thing, as I said earlier in the video, is Strasberg emphasized relaxation. And something I would do before a performance is to relax. So an example of this would just be go through your entire body from your toes to your feet, to your knees, to your calves, to your thighs, to your glutes, to your abdominals, to your chest, to your shoulders, to your fingers, to your hands and your palms, to your forearms, to your biceps and triceps, to your neck, to your skull and your brain muscles and all the things. Technically your brain doesn't have muscle, or does it? Oh my gosh. Pre-med Vittoria is almost 10 years ago. I don't ever want to think about the 24 to 48 hours I spent trying to study all the bones of the skull and all the nerves that went through the skull and everything that was going on in our brains. But I say all that to say, you're going to just squeeze and release, and then you're going to just do one big squeeze at the end of it and then release. You can do this with meditative music. You can do this with silence, whatever calms you, whatever, stimulates the sense of calm for you. And do that before you do your preparation. Do that before you go out there and perform. Hopefully it relaxes your muscles and gets you slightly more in the headspace you need to be in to do what you need to do to give a good show. I hope that this was helpful. If anything, it was just a chit chat. Maybe you may call it a filler video. I don't know. I enjoyed making it. I hope any of the information I shared is ample and fruitful to what you need to do. As always, you're important and blessed. Keep a lookout for the script analysis video that's slightly more educational and structured. And as always, you're important, you're loved, you're blessed. I'll see you in the next video. Be safe and take care.